Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well and I hope that you have a fabulous day. I am here to do an intuitive card reading to see what insights, guidance, and messages the universe wants to share with us. So let's take a look at the cards and see what the universe wants us to know about trusting trusting the process, having patience, not trying to rush things, and recognizing just because we're not seeing immediate results doesn't mean things aren't working out for us. Doesn't mean the seed hasn't been planted and is growing. Okay, so let's take a look. So we have Cyan, build your confidence, and this is the universe wanting you to build your confidence in yourself, but also in trusting the universe and trusting the process and knowing with faith and hope and trust that things will work out. The universe is working things out in your favor. Having confidence that good things are coming your way. And even if you don't see the results right here and now, that doesn't mean they aren't coming. Just because you don't see it right here and now doesn't mean you're being denied. Doesn't mean that it'll never happen for you. Doesn't mean that, it's not meant. Trust, have faith, and have confidence that it will come to you. But sometimes things just take time. It's sort of like, with seeds being planted. You don't plant them in the ground and they immediately become this huge massive tree or, a flourishing plant that has fruit and all that. It takes time. Just like, with a baby, it takes time to gestate in the womb. You don't immediately have a baby. So the universe wants you to trust that things are working out and, the universe is working things behind the scenes in your favor. So don't become discouraged and lose faith and lose hope and think that it's not meant and it won't work out for you, because it will. Just take things one step at a time. You don't need to rush. Apricot, rejoice and laugh. The universe really wants you to know you should lighten up. You should have more fun. You should stop and smell the roses. You should enjoy the journey, because it's not just about the end destination. Because, if you are rushing ahead and just trying to plow forward and, you're burning yourself out and you're being miserable the whole way, you're not going to enjoy the end destination as much. It's like, okay, I reached it. Now what? You'll have to then be like, with humans, as soon as we get somewhere, we're looking for the next thing, and the universe is wanting you to say, hey, enjoy what you have now. Not that you have to settle for less, not that you can't be moving forward and striving towards your dreams and your goals, but enjoy what you have now. Enjoy the moment. Enjoy the little things. Remember to laugh, to have fun, to, make room for peace, fun, joy, lightheartedness. You don't have to have everything be so serious and doom and gloom. Because when we open up our hearts and our minds and we're able to get into this energy of lightheartedness, joy, fun, gratitude, that's when things can flow all the more easily to us. That's when the universe can send us things and we'll be more in a receptive mode. If we are getting caught up in these limiting beliefs and negative narratives about how things aren't working out for us, everything's going wrong, hear it all the time from my family, and you're focusing on all the negative things and all the things frustrating you and all the things going wrong, you won't see the good. You won't see how things are working out for you. You'll be blinded to it. It's like what Uncle Iro says, when you look for the light, you can often find it, but if you look for the dark, it's all you'll ever see. Even if it's right under your nose, you won't be able to notice it because you're too fixated on putting your focus elsewhere. What you put your time, energy, and attention to will grow. It will build momentum. You will get more of it. And that happens all the time with my family. Case in point, my mom. I've brought it up before, but she's still having issues with her printer. Because she keeps focusing on how it's all going wrong and the printer is always busting and this, that, and the other. It's always jamming. It's like, you didn't have the gratitude when the co-owner fixed it for you by literally taking it apart piece by piece, dissecting it all and reassembling it. And all you keep doing is ranting and raving about how it went wrong. You're not rejoicing in the fact that he fixed it for you. You're not laughing at how, that's how life is sometimes. Literally, I kind of had to laugh at myself, when I've done stuff like go the wrong way, it's like, well, I'm silly. Look at me being human. Or, trying to make the most of the situation. Like when I got in that downpour with my aunt's dog, like, you can't change anything about it. You can't fight against it. It's like, it is what it is. It happened. I, went the wrong way. I wasn't paying close enough attention, or, got in the downpour when it hadn't been raining at all, and then just all of a sudden it's like, you just got to do the best you can. And it's so much easier when you can laugh, when you can poke fun, make fun of yourself in a lighthearted way, not in a mean, demeaning way, but the universe wants you to lighten up. It wants you to make more room for joy, peace, love, fun, to trust, because things will work out for you. But it's kind of coming, like the messaging coming in is, it can be the easy way or the hard way, the shorter way or the more drawn out process. Because when we're not believing, when we're not trusting, we're not, being confident in that things were working out for us, we stretch out the process. It takes it longer to manifest because we're not putting, our time, energy, and attention into ways that are serving us. And so we got to be mindful of that, We have Unicorn Portal. Focus your light, listen for a message. Yeah, the universe is really wanting you to get focused on what it is you want. Not what is, or what, you're perceiving to be what is. Not, your past experiences and how it has all this proof. And you're like, no, look, see, I know all these people that it happened to. It's happened to me. Don't get so caught up on that. Focus on what you want. Focus on what you're creating. Focus on the steps you're taking. Focus on how it could happen for you, different ways it could come in. Be open, be flexible, be adaptable. And when you're open, you can be receptive. You can hear the universe. You can notice the signs. You will be, when it wants to give you opportunities and blessings, you will be receptive to it. You'll notice and you'll be able to allow it in your life. But you got to be focused. You got to be aware. You got to be mindful. Because if you're not looking, if you have your blinders on, you could be missing so much. My family does it all the time. Not in a I'm better than them kind of way, but that's just, it is what it is. They're at where they're at in their journey, and they miss a lot. Enter the magic. Live in the now. Seize the moment. Yeah. Get more focused on the here and now. What is going on right now? Do you have enough for right now? Are you safe? Are you good right now? Do you have a roof over your head? Do you have food to eat? Do you have clothes on your back? Do you have clean water? Yes, it may not be the easiest. Yes, it may not be the most comfortable existence. Yes, there could be plenty of things not to, your preference. I'm not saying you should live in delusional land and be like, everything's rainbows and butterflies. No, you don't need to sidestep. You don't need to pretend. You don't need to sweep things under the rug. But live in the current moment. How can you make the most of your current moment? How can you bring in more joy? How can you enjoy the things that you're doing? Even if it's not perfectly, sometimes chores and the like are really hard. How can you make it more fun and more like a game? How can you bring more joy into it? Maybe you can listen to uplifting music. Maybe you can listen to a fun podcast or a book, whatever it is. Find ways to bring in more joy and create a life you can enjoy right now. A life you can fall in love with right now. Not that it needs to be perfect. Not that it needs to have everything to your preference. But what can you do right here and now? How can you open up and let in the universe's magic right here and now? How can you seize the moment? How can you make the most of the hand you've been dealt? Because, you can choose. It's a choice that humans make all the time, to complain, to go on and on and on about all the things going wrong, about all the things that are messed up. And that's not to say that you're lying, that it's not true, but what is it that you're wanting to focus on? What is it that you're wanting to grow and build momentum and have more of in your life? Because you keep giving it all this time, energy, and attention, that's what's going to happen. If you're having all this energy of frustration and anger and resentment and mistrust and all these things, the energy you put out comes back to you. So are you really going to be able to live your dream life if that's energy you're putting out, If those are the seeds you're planting, because you reap what you sow. So just keep that in mind. Not that you're not allowed to be human, not that you can't have off days and, be in the thick of your emotions, but what is it overall that you're striving for? What is it that you're having as the foundation of the life you're building? Yeah, the universe is saying you should try to build your life on soul satisfaction. Honor your uniqueness. Do what makes you feel good. And that doesn't mean you can do whatever you want. That doesn't mean, if you feel like it will feel so good to just tear into other people and go scorched earth and just obliterate them to smithereens and all that. Like, I get that can be satisfying. We're human. Like, I get it. I've considered things. People have pushed my buttons and, pushed me up the wall, rubbed me the wrong way, all that. Like, I get it. But is that true soul satisfaction, or is that just, soothing and appeasing your ego? Not that your ego isn't a part of you, not that you shouldn't acknowledge it, but is that truly satisfying your soul, your heart and soul? Like, what is it that your heart and soul wants? Because odds are your heart and soul is wanting to be more aligned to things like love. Not that, you listen to other people's ideas of love is enabling and letting them do whatever they want, and you can't tell them otherwise, and you can't try to, point things out and address things. That's not love. Sometimes love is tough love, and you call them out on their nonsense. That doesn't mean people want to hear it, but you're not a doormat. That's not soul satisfaction. That's not love. So, keep in mind that you are meant to enjoy your life. You don't have to push it off until this later date in the future. It's like, once this happens, I'll be happy. No, you can choose to be happy now. You can choose to put yourself as a priority now. You can choose to make peace and well-being a priority now. You don't have to wait. You may have to postpone certain things and be like, okay, I can't do this yet, but what can you start doing now? How can you start bringing more satisfaction now? Yeah, the freedom of truth. The truth will set you free. The truth will set you free. And it's not just, the truth of what appears to be real, because, fear, it can feel very, very real. False evidence appearing real. And, we have our confirmation bias where we can be like, no, see, I have all this evidence to back up. See, I'm right. Like, that's what my family does all the time. And they're so caught up in being right that they get into all these screaming matches and they go to war and they try to enlist people to their side, and they're just screaming and getting so angry. And it's like, yeah, maybe you're right. And you can back it up with some kind of proof or evidence, but is it really worth it? Are you really happy when you're doing this? But the universe wants you to be true to yourself, to, go after what it is you want, not to settle for less, not to sell yourself out, not to dim your light and play small. And so the universe wants you to communicate honestly, which also means not the whole mindset of good vibes only. You're allowed to be human. Don't deny your humanity. Don't deny your emotions. You're allowed to feel what you feel. Doesn't mean, you subscribe to it and you cling on to it and you fixate and obsess over it, but you're allowed to feel what you feel. And then, process it and see if it's really true. Because my aunt likes to say, your feelings are valid, but your perception may not be true. Because, when we buy into fear and anger and all this negativity, it can feel very, very real. If you've had this experience and people have belittled you and invalidated you and this and the other, you can end up projecting your past onto your present or even your future. And you'd be like, no, see, I know because this and the other. It's but the other person may not have been doing that at all. And you might have gotten so caught up into your head that what was perceived to be true wasn't actually the reality of the situation. Not to say that it didn't happen to you and that people can't choose that, but we gotta be careful. The universe wants you to be who you truly are. It doesn't want you to be a fake. It doesn't want you to be disingenuous. It wants you to be authentic and real and honest. And, you're allowed to have stuff like doubt. You're allowed to get discouraged. But you don't really want to stay in that energy because that's not the true you. That's false evidence appearing real. That's you getting swept up in, those negative narratives and all that. But you don't have to stay there. You're allowed to be wherever you are in your journey. You're not bad for that. You're human. You're allowed to be the work in progress and the masterpiece at the same time, That's why the universe wants you to be who you truly are, because you are the masterpiece. You are. 100%. So we have, when I'm connected to my joyful presence, I attract support from the universe. And it's not even that you weren't being supported by the universe before. Like, the divine always wishes you the best. The divine always wants to help you. The divine loves you. But it's what we're in alignment with. It's what we're resonating with. When we're in those lower negative emotion energies, we're not in alignment. We're not open to, the universe's support. The universe will still try to help us, but it's like trying to get in this closed door. It's not really going to work. Which is why the universe is wanting you to have confidence, to rejoice, to laugh, because it helps get you in alignment and resonate with the universe's help. So it can come in and work all this magic, miracles, and blessings on your behalf. It's why the universe wants you to get in that soul satisfaction, to tap into the magic, to, focus and live in the now. Because you're meant for so much more. You're not meant to live in fear and be in all these limiting beliefs. The more energy and intention I bring to my faith, the more fearless and free I am, Because you're opening up to the possibilities, to opportunities, to potential. You're opening up to the universe's support, to its magic and miracles and blessings. All of it can come through you. You're a conduit, but you have to be mindful and intentional about it. Yes, some days it'll just like naturally go flowing through you, but there are going to be days where you have all these challenges and you have to be much more mindful and intentional about it, And that's not to say you have to always be fearless, like you can never feel fear, but the universe wants you to be free. It wants you to have all of these blessings and abundance and love and prosperity. It wants you to have a wonderful life. But you're co-creating with the universe, and if you're imposing all these limitations upon yourself with your beliefs, with your thoughts, with your feelings, you can speak things into existence. The power of your words, the power of your thoughts, the power of your feelings, it will manifest your reality. So you got to be careful about that. Thank you, universe, for helping me see beyond the limits of fear. Thank you for expanding my perceptions so that I can see what is of the highest good. Yeah. And the universe wants you to know that even if there are seemingly bad experiences, the universe is working it in your favor. It truly is. It can use anything and everything for your benefit. Even if other people are trying to sabotage you and, plot against you and, create your demise, the universe can use it to build you up and propel you forward and get you to your next level. Like, literally the toxic group with the narcissist I escaped from, they tried to crush me. They tried to obliterate me. They created the nastiest smear campaign ever, and they're just like going at it. And it's just thing after thing after thing, and they're trying to get me to doubt myself, to think I'm crazy. And it's just like, no, I know who I am. I know my energy. I know what's up. I know the truth. I know the reality. You just didn't like me calling you out on things. You just were projecting all of your inner turmoil onto me when I'm just trying to come from a place of peace, love, and kindness. So, they tried. They tried hard. And, the narcissist succeeded in convincing a lot of them. But there were a select few in that group who saw the light, saw the truth, and was like, I ain't playing in that game, and they left. So, yeah, the universe will use things for your highest good, and it will remove you from people, places, situation, things that are not of your highest good. And, you know, it can be really hard in the moment because you can have made all these plans and have dreams and all that. But if they were just going to, you know, be energy drains or sabotage you or like wish your downfall, wish ill on you, they're not the right people for you. They're not the right experiences for you. And so the universe is going to remove you from them so you can have your highest good, you know? Yeah. Monkey laughter. The universe wants you to have more fun, more joy, more laughter in your life. Like, there are 2 cards talking about laughing and laughter and all that. Like, the universe wants you to laugh more. Laughter is the medicine for the soul. It's a balm. It helps soothe you. It helps heal you. So have more laughter. Not fake laughter, although it's a start. But like, you need to laugh more. You need to have more joy. You need to have more fun. Life's too short to be miserable all the time. Yes, some things suck. I'm not saying to pretend like it doesn't. Like, I've been through the ringer, guys. I know. I deal with a lot of people who are just in that negative mindset most of the time, constantly complaining, fighting amongst themselves. Like, I know. I grew up with them. I've been in a bunch of toxic work environments, toxic classrooms, you know, fake friends. Like, I've been there. But don't let other people's negativity or the external world crush you and make you miserable. You can choose to still pursue peace, love, joy, fun. Like, you can still choose to pursue it. It's up to you to choose. You have the power to choose, guys. Yeah, this stowed innocence. The universe is really sending in this message of tapping into that magic and wonder of childhood. You know, childhood innocence, how, you know, every day felt like an adventure. For most of us, you know, I had a pretty challenging childhood, not gonna lie. Like, I was expected to be the adult in the house, but that's a whole nother thing. But like, even back then, like, there was a certain innocence. Like, even though I was looking after my siblings, because my mom would go on now about how she wanted to kick my younger brother off of her, and like, when she was getting too close to that snapping point, somehow I just show up and be like, come on, let's go play, and I drag him by the hand, and it's just like, yeah, like, I still have that innocence, that's still that fun, that play, that joy, and the world can be a lot, but we don't have to let it crush us. We don't have to let it, like, the quote-unquote reality, the game that everyone else is telling us we have to play by rules. We don't have to do that. We don't have to settle for their lot in life just because they chose to stop believing, to, you know, let their faith and their hope get extinguished, to, you know, let their joy and their peace and their fun and their laughter to get extinguished. We don't have to do that. We can choose to be more like a child, to see the magic and wonder in the world again. And that doesn't mean, you know, we don't see reality for what it is, because some things are very dark and hurtful and horrible, and like, I wouldn't wish them on anybody. But we can still bring in more innocence, you know? It can help us in a lot of ways. Yeah, Fox discernment, like, that's what the universe is saying. Like, yes, have that space for play, innocence, lightheartedness, joy, love, peace, but also use your discernment, because there are people out there who will try to use it against you, who will try to weaponize your empathy, your compassion, your conscience, and blackmail you for it. They'll try to manipulate you and deceive you and coerce you into things. And so use your discernment. You know, yes, forgive people. Yes, give grace. Yes, be gentle and kind and understanding. But also know that you don't have to keep giving people chances. You know? Use your discernment. And, you know, also use your discernment and when you're taking action. Because it may be the right action, but it may be the wrong time. Like, for example, I knew that if I went and with my heightened emotions, when things were all heated with that toxic group, that things wouldn't go over well. I knew it had to be addressed. I knew I had to speak up. But if I did it when I was, in those heightened emotions, like I would have gone scorched earth to them, and I'm like, it would not work well. Like, they wouldn't receive the message I was trying to communicate. It wouldn't be understood for certain. So I'm like, okay, I need to take a step back. I need to calm down. I need to chill out. I need to collect myself. I need to pause. I need to process. I need to breathe. And having the discernment to know when to act. Because the universe will give you signs. The universe will give you those nudgings. But you got to use your discernment. Don't blindly rush into things. Yes, you are meant to have all your dreams. But it also may not turn out exactly the way you envision them. It may take a different, appearance, and that's okay. But you got to use your discernment. Don't just blindly go into things and be like, yes, everything's going to go great. Everything's going to go exactly the way you want. Maybe not. You may be trying to rush the process. You may be trying to harvest the fruit before your seeds have even grown, So you got to use your discernment. Discernment will do you a lot of good. I surrender it all. And this feels like surrender in the form of trust. Not that you're giving up. Not that you're not going to try anymore. Not that you're not going to take steps to your dreams. But you're surrendering and allowing it to flow. You're allowing the process to naturally unfold. You're not trying to force things. You're not trying to rush things. You're not trying to make it all happen. You're allowing yourself to co-create with the universe and saying, hey, universe, I surrender this to you. I give it up to you and your divine timing, your master plan. I know you're working everything out for my benefit, so please show me the way. Use me as your vessel. Use me as your conduit. Help me get to where I need to be. Help me live my life to the fullest, surrendering and trusting that it's going to work out. That it's going to work out. It may not be the way your human mind envisions it, but it's going to work out. The universe is working everything out to your highest good, which is why the universe wants you to surrender. It doesn't want you to keep trying to force things and control things because you're just getting in your own way. The key to getting what I want is to ask for it. That's another thing. So often we don't even ask, the whole expression, a closed mouth doesn't get fed. Like, if you're not asking for it, and that could be through prayer, through, journaling, meditation, whatever, speaking out loud, have open dialogue with the divine and the universe. The universe wants to provide for you, but the universe is allowing you to have free will. It's not going to impose its will on you. It's allowing you to live your human life, to, embark on your human journey. And so it's up to you. You have to choose. You have to ask. You have to allow it in and be receptive. But you got to ask for it. And that's also with, your thoughts, your spoken word, the time and energy and attention you put into things, because the universe is going to give you more of what the energy you're putting out of, what you're thinking, what you're saying, what you're believing. If you're saying, oh, I want to be abundant, I want to have financial freedom, I want to be overflowing in prosperity and money and all this, but you're constantly complaining about how your bank account is so small, you don't have enough to pay for the bills, anybody who has money is a greedy whatever, fill in the blank, and is evil, and money is the root of all evil, and this on the other. You're not asking for abundance and wealth and money, like, to have it flow to you when you're doing those, when you're putting out that energy and choosing those actions. Like, you're asking for the opposite. You're asking for lack. You're putting out that energy of lack and scarcity, and so the universe gives it back to you. It's like, oh, this is what you're putting your time, energy, and attention into. This must be what you want. Here you go. So you got to be careful. And it's not just with your words that you are asking and creating your reality. Yeah. My life is a gift, and I appreciate everything I have. The universe wants you to have more gratitude, because gratitude is the attitude that allows all the abundance and blessings and magic and miracles to come in, because the universe knows you will appreciate everything that it gives you because you're already grateful. You don't have everything you want. You don't have your dream life. You don't have the money and the car and the house and the family, whatever it is you're looking for, the job. But you're already grateful. You're already grateful for the roof over your head, even if it's not the best, even if it might have a leaky roof. You're grateful for the food you eat, even if it's not your favorite foods. You're still grateful. You're grateful for the relationships in your life, even if they're not perfect. So this is the universe saying, hey, trust the process, that things are working out for you. But your mindset matters. Your perception that you're coming into this world and how you're choosing to show up will make a huge difference. Which is, again, why it's wanting you to have confidence and to trust, because you're going to be grateful that the universe is working things out in your favor. You're trusting it. You're surrendering and saying, hey, I'm so grateful that you have my back, universe. I'm so grateful that you're working things out for me, that you're protecting me from things I don't even know about, that aren't even on my radar, that you're getting me aligned with everything that I need, whether it be resources, connections, opportunities, experiences, information, whatever it is. You got me. I'm so grateful. You're the best, universe. You love me so much and I love you back. Like, that's a completely different energy than what a lot of us go into the world with. And when we have that grateful heart, it's open and it's allowing, and you can receive. I can do anything I put my mind to, and this is why the universe wants you to build your confidence. This is why the universe wants you to stay the course, to pursue your soul satisfaction, seize the moment, be who you truly are, because you can do anything you want. You can literally do anything you want. The universe will work magic and miracles on your behalf. But you gotta be open to it, and you gotta keep pursuing it. You can't just, go for, like, I surrender, universe, do your will, and then you just sit and do nothing. Like, yes, the universe will work things out for you, but again, you have free will. The universe isn't going to overwrite your free will. The universe wants you to co-create alongside it, to work with it, not to just be like, here, universe, I'm your puppet. Like, the universe doesn't want a puppet. The universe wants you to make it the most of your journey, because it's your human life. And so you can do anything you want. You just gotta believe. I believe in my ability to unlock the way and set myself free. Yeah. And it may take time. You could keep planting the seeds, keep tending to the garden and watering and nurturing those seeds, because eventually they're going to bear fruit and you're going to have a bountiful harvest. But if you decide to give up, if you stop planting the seeds or never plant any at all, you stop nurturing the garden, if you let weeds choke them out, how are you going to have the harvest? How are you going to have the harvest? You have to believe and keep showing up for yourself. You have to trust and stay the course. Even if there are storms going on and it's really turbulent and things are seeming shaky and it's uncertain, like, keep moving forward. Even if you have to slow down, even if you have to inch forward and take the smallest steps, even if you have to pause and breathe and rest and recuperate for a little bit, it's okay, as long as you keep moving forward, as long as you keep believing and keep having an open heart and mind, because you will set yourself free. The universe wants the best for you. It has your back. But you have to believe, because when you believe, that's when the miracles can happen. That's when the universe can work its magic. My past is not a reflection of my future. Yeah. If you're like me and you've had such a rough past, people would, be like, oh, that's just your lot in life. You're doomed to be around all these negative people who are always trying to, take you down, always trying to scapegoat you and invalidate you and manipulate you and, belittle you and all these things. Like, no, you're not meant for that. You're not meant for that. Brighter days are coming, but you have to trust, you have to believe, you have to have patience, you have to be grateful for what you do have. Again, as Uncle Arwa says, if you look for the light, you can often find it, but if you look for the dark, it's all you'll ever see. You'll get those blinders on. You won't be able to see the good that's right in front of you. So know that brighter days are coming, and the universe is working it all out in your favor. It really is. Okay. We have Apple. Temptation will test you, and the temptation will be to give up, to fall back on old ways, to settle for less, to sell yourself out, to be inauthentic, to do things that you don't really want to do, to appease other people, to conform to their expectations, to fit inside their boxes, to color within their lines, be like, oh, they were right. It's just not meant. It doesn't happen. Like, you can't make a living this way, or you can't find someone to create a loving, healthy relationship because, people are broken and money's root all evil, whatever it is. Temptation is going to test you. But this is the universe trying to prepare you to make sure you're ready. It's going to test you in order to make sure you pass so that when you get what you've been asking for, that you get what you've been dreaming of, what you've been yearning for, it's not going to fall through your fingers. It's not going to crumble before you, and then you'll be even more disheartened and disappointed and disillusioned. The universe doesn't want to set you up for failure. The universe wants to set you up for success. So the universe is going to test you to see if you'll actually stay the course, if you'll actually persevere, if you'll actually keep believing and trusting and having faith. If you can keep your hope alive, even when things seem rough, even when the storm is raging outside, if you can trust and believe and still be grateful, to still find joy, to still find peace, even when there's conflict and chaos all around you in the external, And trust me, like, I get it, we're human. It can be so tempting to, go back to those old ways, to settle for less, to, play the other people's games, because you can get tired of it. But the universe wants you to stay the course and to stay true to you, to trust that it's working magic and miracles for yourself, to trust the process, to free yourself. Like, it is going to work out for you. But you gotta have faith. You gotta trust. Yeah, hills, obstacles to overcome. And sometimes the biggest obstacle is yourself. Because we can get in our minds, we can get, listening to all those negative narratives and limiting beliefs, and they can become self-fulfilling prophecies, and there can be false evidence appearing real, and we can convince ourselves that we're not good enough, that we don't have what it takes, that it can work out for other people but not us, we're not lovable, this and that. Like, no, you can overcome the obstacles. The universe is working alongside you, but you gotta let it help you. You gotta let it in. You will stay the course. You will go the distance if you keep moving forward, if you keep believing and trusting. Okay, mountain. Major challenge to overcome. And again, that could be yourself. It could be, removing yourself from environments, situations, people, places, things that no longer serve you, that are draining you, that are, getting all this negativity to fester in you, because, energy is contagious. If you're around all these negative people all the time and you never get away from it, it can start seeping in to you and start skewing your perception, how you view things. So you got to be careful, but you will overcome the obstacles. That's why the universe wants you to focus your light. Focus on the light. Okay, firecracker excitement. And I feel like this is the excitement of the universe working its magic and miracles, of starting to see the harvest, of starting to see the results, of starting to get what you've been asking for and noticing things moving. Because it can be really hard to trust when it doesn't look like things are working, things are happening, but the universe is working behind the scenes for you. Don't worry. It is going to work out for you. Yeah. Sun, happiness and well-being. Like, the universe is shining down on you all this love, all this abundance, all these blessings, magic and miracles. But you have to be receptive to it. If you refuse to open the door and go outside to feel the sun, to soak up the blessings, how are you going to receive it? You're holed up, having all these walls around your heart, hiding away inside. Like, it's the universe is still going to try to get you to come out, try to get to you, but you got to work alongside the universe. It wants you to have soul satisfaction. It wants to get you the brighter days. Yeah, needle and thread. It wants to have your sincere wishes and dreams granted. A sincere wish will be granted. But you got to stay the course. You got to trust. You got to believe. You got to lighten up and have more fun to make room for joy, peace, love, happiness, prosperity, like all of it. You got to open up to the magic. You got to let it in. And again, the universe wants you to know when you're connected to joy, to love, to peace, that's how you bring in more support from the universe. It's blessings, it's guidance, it's insights, it's magic, it's miracles. So yeah, have more gratitude. Lighten up, guys. It's going to be okay. Trust the process. The universe is not conspiring against you. It's conspiring for you. It's working magical and miracles on your behalf. So you got this. Keep moving forward. It's going to work out for you. I'm wishing you a wonderful rest of your day. Please take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.